Hi guys, I am so very excited to present to you this next floor plan for you. It is quite different from the first plan, and mostly that is because of the rather significant changes that you requested, such as the elimination of the carport, the addition of a formal living room and formal office space, and the other big change was moving the staircase and adding an elevator. And then, of course, having all of the beds on either an east facing or an east facing or a west facing wall. So, with that, let's dive into the changes. If we look at the total square footage, again, because we've added an elevator, a formal living, and a formal office space, we are kissing the maximum square footage. I've got 2 square feet left to spare, but that is because I'm also double counting a double height living room. So we'll dive into that a little bit more. But right now, this is a rather big home. Bigger than maybe we initially started with off wanting, but I still think it is a fantastic design. And let's take a look at this demo plan, this smaller demo plan. If we zoom in here, you can see the orange outline is the existing building to remain, or the existing building to be removed. And I am rebuilding the garage exactly where this front corner is. So that's the start of my garage. So the garage is not moving any closer to the property line or any closer to the street. It's being built right where the existing one is. So this pathway past the garage can stay functionally as it is now, just with some improvements per Chris Cankel's landscape design. And then this gray hatch here, this represents the ground floor of the new building. But that's about it to point out on the demo plan. The garage is tied exactly with where the existing garage is. Okay. Now let's go ahead and zoom in on the ground floor and start talking about some of the design features. So the big change was eliminating the carport and moving the enclosed garage up to the existing garage area. But from the garage area, we've got access to a large covered entry porch. The entry here leads into a very amply sized entry space with display space, and around the corner we've got a coat closet. But this is a really, really clean, very bright space, very welcoming. And from the front door, you could see through the cased opening to the formal dining table. But at least we're not going to have a door visible from the front entry. There might be a window here, of course. I'm not showing windows yet. Those will get shown on the plan when I start doing the 3D modeling. But I really do like the this large formal entry space, which has access to the mudroom. And we also have access to the half bath here. So from the pool area, your grandkids will be able to run past the family room, in through this side door, through the combo laundry mudroom, and dart across to the powder room. From the entry, we could continue around to the double height living space. So this formal living room, it's rather small in footprint maybe, but it's going to be double height so that when we go up the stairs and we come to the top of the stairs, we can look over this guardrail down into this double height living space. I'm really excited about this idea. And from this living room, we also have access to the formal office space. This formal office space would not be double height, but there's nothing above it, so it could be a little extra tall. And I imagine that the roof that comes off of this office will bisect this double height living space and inform the window design I do there. But then that roof will tie into the entry porch roof here. So it's very leaning towards those inspiration images that you sent me. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit here. The stairs wrap around this elevator core, and this elevator core does not necessarily have to get built out, but at least the stairs are sized to accommodate it, should you decide to move forward and build that out now. Tucked in under one of the high landings would be a the closet storage space for the office. Let's see here. So if we continue through the entry, through this cased opening, we are centered on the dining table, and I can imagine a really nice chandelier hanging down here and really being an inviting space to look. And then you'd be able to see through a window here to this covered outdoor kitchen, which is parked right underneath the second floor balcony. Now we're seeing this dash line here and the darker gray, that represents the second floor above. And so we see here that this family room could have the potential to be extra tall. So it won't be limited to the 10-foot ceiling height that the rest of the great room is at. So we have the option to go a little extra tall here. Not double height, because when we go double height, that counts twice against our square footage allotment. So we don't have that to spare, but we can get an extra tall family room that integrates nicely to the balcony above. Let's see here. The great room, I think, is going to be a lot more to your liking now that the kitchen and the dining and the family room are all part of this large volume. And we've got the bifolding doors leading out to the pool area. We've got a lot of cabinetry here for the TV and for storage of media, maybe some display flanking either side of the TV. And that would tie in really nicely with the concept of using these display screens to semi-screen the kitchen from the dining area. I've got a formal dining room, dining table here, and more of an activity table here that is centered on the vestibule leading to your primary bedroom. But let's talk a little bit more about the kitchen before we go into the primary bedroom. The kitchen has a very large island. It's got the main sink, the cooktop, and the main refrigerator here. I've incorporated a tall wine cooler here that can easily accommodate 50 wine bottles or maybe even more if we go full height. And I would imagine this amount of cabinetry here would be full height for a wine fridge, your standard fridge freezer combo, and then a wall oven. And then this wall could be a big window facing out towards Man Drive. And then we can have more windows along this corner here, or we can have some upper cabinets. That'll be determined when I start looking at the 3D model. But the kitchen, again, is screened from view by these display screen elements. And I've opted to incorporate the gas fireplace here as part of a see-through fireplace. So you'd be able to appreciate it from both sides, from inside the kitchen if you're sitting here at the island, as well as from the dining room. So here is an option for a see-through fireplace. Of course, we could also opt to put the fireplace over in this corner or this corner. There's a lot of different options for that. The kitchen is connected through this sliding pocket door to the pantry. The pantry has another standard fridge and a sink, dishwasher, and then plenty of storage space. And I would imagine I'd be able to fit in another nice smaller window here so that the pantry would be naturally lit as well. So now let's go through this small vestibule to your primary bedroom. The primary bedroom still has a desk alcove in it, although this is no longer meant to be Ram's main office. He's now got that larger formal office at the front. But the bedroom is on an east wall, or the bed wall is on an east wall, and faces directly out has direct access out to the backyard pool area. And on one side, we've got access into the same sized walk-in closet, nice and large, big island in the middle of it. It's a huge closet. And on the other side, we have access to the enlarged bathroom, which now has a standalone tub and a large shower, makeup vanity, and dual sink area. So I am really, really happy with the way that this ground floor has shaped up. But now let's go ahead and head upstairs. So we'll walk either through this cased opening into the large entry space, which has display for your relics, But we've also got a couple other display areas here and here. So we can go through this cased opening to get to the vertical circulation, or we can go through this smaller narrow hallway between the pantry and the powder room. And we'll start walking up the stairs, or we can take the elevator up. So we come up the stairs here and we get to the top of the stairs. We've got a very large, amply sized landing, both for the stairs and for the elevator. I would imagine there'd be a lot of skylights along this wide hallway leading to the loft, but we've definitely got an awesome ability to look down into the formal living area here. And then we have access to the kids' bathroom with a single vanity, but a full height linen storage here. So there's a lot of ability to store linens and towels and things like that for the 1, 2, 3, 4 beds that are served by this bathroom. But then we've also got a lot of really great storage closets, as well as some display area to serve the loft and store a lot of beddings and activities and game boards and all sorts of things. And this storage area, all accessible from the public area. And then also at the top of the stairs, instead of just having a guardrail here, because we take the stairs down, we would put a little bookshelf guardrail right here. Now, one of the big changes for the second floor was to make sure that every bed was on an east or a west wall. So that's the case here, and it's working out pretty well. The kids' rooms do not have walk-in closets, but they've got really long reach-in closets. So there's no small amount of storage. This is a lot of storage for these bedrooms. But the adult rooms still do have walk-in closets. The 2 adult rooms are separated from the kids' rooms through some closet spaces, so there's no. This should help limit sound transmission between the 2 rooms or all the rooms. So I'm really happy with the way this has worked out. And then we've got the large loft area, and through a sliding glass door, we'd all have access to the balcony from the loft. I'm no longer thinking that the 2 adult bedrooms would have direct access to the balcony, but that's okay. It's a short trip to get from the bedroom to the balcony. Although bed 2 would definitely have some windows looking out onto the balcony. Okay, well, I think that about covers it for these changes that you requested. I'm still really happy with the fact that the balcony and the second floor, it's far enough away from the property lines that all of it could still avoid design review. And of course, we're also looking at a second floor to first floor ratio of about 43%, which is way under the 66% threshold that would trigger design review. So with that, I think I've covered all the changes and walked through everything. I am really excited to get your feedback, and I do want to encourage you to zoom in on these floor plans, because there's a lot more information in the plans than I've quickly gone through. But like, for example, you can see the dimensions for all the storage areas here in the mudroom / laundry room. So it's a lot of storage. So like, for example, in the mudroom here, this would be a bench with cubbies above it, and then this would be some tall vertical storage for things like mops, vacuums, brooms, etc., etc. And then tons of storage along here in the laundry room. And I know you're asking about like hanging rods and drying racks. We could definitely incorporate a lot of things into this laundry room. And then here above the washer and dryer, still more storage. So I did combo this space. I do think that's the right way to go, just because, well, that's just the way it worked out, you know, trying to fit all these extra spaces inside of this footprint. Now, I am, again, really excited to hear your feedback on this, and assuming you like this floor plan more than the first floor plan, or if you have very limited comments on this floor plan, we would start to explore this design as a 3D model And I'm really excited to do that for you guys. So let me know when you are ready to meet and review your feedback. And I look forward to that. Thank you so much.